Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1990 movie Look Who's Talking 2. So this is a sequel to Look Who's Talking from 1989, and it's directed by Amy Heckerling, who had directed the first movie. And in this one, James and Molly are getting ready to welcome a new baby girl named Julie, and in this movie Mikey is trying to learn how to deal with having a new baby sister, and also learning how to potty train. And he's once again, his thoughts and stuff are once again voiced by Bruce Willis, and baby Julie's voice by Roseanne Barr. This was like at the height of the Roseanne show, when it was probably in its second or third season when this movie came out and everything. And there's also a lot going on in the story with Molly and James. Their relationship is kind of rocky. They're arguing all the time, and things get worse when Molly's brother Stuart comes to live with them and everything. So there's also that part. This movie has a lot of stuff going on and everything. Most of it focuses on the babies though, and Mikey trying to learn how to potty train is the big part of his story arc. But also the relationship between him and Molly, and them not really getting along and stuff. But this is a okay movie. I don't really think it's as good as the first one, but I still really enjoy it quite a bit. I don't like it as much as I did when I first saw it. I used to love this one a lot more than I used to, and it is still entertaining though. It's only an hour and 20 minutes, so it goes by pretty quickly and everything, so it doesn't like overstay its welcome and stuff. But the jokes and stuff just aren't as funny and fresh in this one as they were in the first one, which that's just kind of a problem with comedy sequels. Most of the time the jokes just aren't as good in the sequel, and compared to other sequels, this one is still pretty decent. But I think the cast are all still really good together though. John Travolta and Kirstie Alley still have really good chemistry and stuff when they're not fighting throughout the movie. And the babies are both really likable and stuff. Julie is just really adorable. She's just so cute, and Mikey is cute too, but little Julie is just adorable. Of course she's younger and stuff, because Mikey's probably at least 2 by now and everything. He can talk a little bit, but not very much. Like I said, it's mostly hearing Bruce Willis's thoughts, or Bruce Willis has his thoughts throughout most of it. And there's even this little scene where Mel Brooks is doing the voice of this evil toilet that Mikey's scared of, and Damon Wayans is the voice of Mikey's little friend, his friend Eddie, and everything. I like that. I thought that was kind of cool. But I think this movie is okay. Yeah, and Gilbert Gottfried has a small role in here, as well as this instructor at the baby gym that Molly takes Mikey and Julie to, because she doesn't like taking them to the park anymore because there was a crack pipe at the park, and she's scared that he's gonna end up getting sick or something from being in the park, so they start going there. And there's a fun little scene in there when James goes to pick him up, and he's dancing to that Elvis is all shook up and everything. That's a fun little scene. And this movie has some pretty good songs in it. It has a pretty nice soundtrack. A lot of the songs in here are pretty good, and but it just doesn't have the same heart that first movie did, and it had a really weird opening and stuff, and I didn't really like it as much and stuff, and they had the same stuff with the sperm and stuff. I didn't think it was as well done in this one as that first one was. This movie is just kind of mediocre, but it's still really enjoyable. I really don't mind watching it every now and then. Like if I watch the first one, I usually watch this one too anyway, so yeah, it's a decent enough sequel. It's definitely miles ahead better than the third movie though, which I'll talk about here probably in the next few weeks or so. But all in all, I think Look Who's Talking 2 is a decent comedy sequel that could have been better. That they tried to make it too dramatic and stuff, like they're fighting and stuff, even though a lot of the jokes come from their arguments and stuff. But they tried to have too much tension between Molly and James, and it kind of took down the movie a little bit. And them focusing too much on the babies also was just, they didn't balance it out as well as they did in the first one. They balanced the relationship between James and Molly and the stuff with the baby really well. This one they just don't do it as well on, but for what it is, it's a pretty good sequel, and I enjoy it quite a bit. So I'd say I'd give Look Who's Talking 2 a 7.5 out of 10. It's really enjoyable, just not quite as good as the first one, but it's still decent enough for what it is. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people. I know a lot of people don't really care for the sequels to Look Who's Talking. I don't think this one's as bad as some people say it is, but I can understand why they don't like it as much as the first one, because the first one is definitely a lot better. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Look Who's Talking 2, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.